Hey, welcome to Dad Can Cook Season 3, okay? And in this episode, I am going to be making a pork tenderloin, butterflied, actually cut in a roll kind of cut, filled with stuffing and rolled back up and tied up and baked in the oven with a homemade apple kind of chutney or homemade applesauce, chunky applesauce. Okay, and if I got some good stock, I'm gonna make a gravy with it. I don't know if I am or not, but I'm looking at that. And we're gonna have it with an avocado and tomato salad. Okay, well, the stuffing. We're gonna get busy with the stuffing. We're gonna start that in a second. But the reason why I'm making this, and let me tell you why. I was in my house in Venice and I was watching a talk show was on TV while I was working in my house. And there was a cook, I'm not going to mention his name, there was a cook on from the Food Network that was a guest host with the other hosts. And he made this dish his way, but when he made it and he took it out and he cut it, it was so dry looking and so overcooked that, and then he said to the audience, wow, look how beautiful this is, and they're eating it and they're saying, wow, this is great. And you could just see from the camera how freaking dried out this thing was, you know. And that kind of ticked me off, because you know something, when I make my shows, good, bad, or indifferent, if it's dry, I'm telling you it's dry. If it sucks, I'm telling you it sucks. If it's good, I'm telling you it's good. You know, but that's my oven that just went off. I preheated my oven at 375. But we're going to make this dish, and I'm going to make it my way, and it's going to come out and it's going to be perfect. I hope. Okay? So let's get busy. I'm going to make the stuffing first, and then we're going to get to everything else. Okay, so let's go. Okay, it's time for the stuffing. Alright, now I got right here, okay, I have 3 tablespoons of olive oil, extra virgin, alright, heating up right now. I have mild pork sausage and ground turkey. You could use both. This is a 16 ounce, this is a 12 ounce. But you could use 2 16-ounce pork sausages if you want, or you could use all ground turkey if you wanted to, all according to what you want to make, right? Okay, so I got this oil heating up, and I'm cutting this open right now. I gotta get this on camera here. Okay. Alright, and I'm putting the sausage in the pan. Okay, I'm cutting the ground turkey up and I'm dropping that in the pan. Okay, okay, I have 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic. That's going in the pan. Okay. Mixing this all up. Boy, do I smell that. That smells delish, right? Look at that. Okay? And as we go along, I'm going to tell you what I'm putting in it. But we want to brown this and cook this off. Okay, I'm mixing it up, mashing it up. Okay, seasoning salt, a couple of teaspoons, all to your taste. This is all to your taste. Onion powder, a little bit of onion powder, okay? Because we're going to put onions and celery in this, so we don't want to put too much onion powder in. Thyme. We want to put about 2. You know what? If you're not experienced with that, put it in the palm of your hand. Because you don't want to put too much in. You don't want to overspill it. Okay, so we're going to go about 2 teaspoons worth of thyme. We're going to go 2 teaspoons worth of sage. Into the sausage and turkey mixture. Okay? And then we're going to go about a tablespoon's worth of dried parsley. Okay? Now we're going to mix that up and let that saute. Let me move my other stuff out of the way. We'll get to all of this other stuff when I get to it. Okay? We want to get this all browned. Now you know when I do an episode, we do it like kind of start to finish. But you know something? It takes a long time to make the video. I want to make sure that you know what to do, okay? So you gotta keep moving it around. You know what I'm saying? And I made a homemade mayo, okay? Now you know my homemade mayos. If you've been watching the show, you can go on YouTube or you can go on Facebook and you can find my quickie on how to make a homemade mayo, okay? I have 12 ounces of homemade mayo, and the way you know how to make it is just use 12 ounces of oil. Okay? No, that tastes good. Brown it up nicely. Okay? Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. You know me. I'm making a lot of stuffing. You know why I'm making a lot of stuffing? Because I'm going to freeze a lot of this so I can use it for quickies and other dishes that I want to make. This is the whole point of this show. I'm showing you how to make stuff and put it in the freezer and make it in advance, and then you can pull it out and you can make a dish that's really easier to make for you. Tonight's going to be the hard part, making this whole big batch of stuffing, but I'm putting 75% of it in the freezer, and I could use it to make 6, 7, 8 other dishes that I want to make. You could use it to be so versatile, okay? So look at that. Now, you know something, in the restaurant, they're not making stuffing to order. They're making a big batch of it. It sits in their place for 3, 4, 5 days while they're using it for the dishes that they're making in their specials that week. Okay? So don't think that, you know, I'm doing something that's out of the ordinary. I'm not. This is something that's actually normal in restaurant style cooking. Okay. This sausage is almost done. Okay, you see that? It's looking good. It's browning a little bit. Okay, let me move my stuff over. Get my big ass bowl. That's my big ass bowl there, right? Okay. Now this is pretty much done. And here we go. Whoa, right into the bowl. Now, I'm turning the fire off on this here because you know what? What I'm going to do next, well actually not next, but what I'm going to do is let's go over here. Okay. Now we're coming over here to the food processor. Okay. And here's the bread. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to rip open this bread. And I'm going to take the bread and I'm going to break it up and I'm going to put it in the food processor. We're doing all of this stuffing in the food processor and in one pan. That's the beauty of this. Okay? I'm doing the dry ingredients first. Bring my bowl, my swap over here. Okay, I want to make a smooth stuffing, so I want that to be pretty smooth. So I ground it down pretty smooth, get it back in. Okay, this is that butter top bread that I showed you in my other episode of my shopping episode. Okay, so this is a 20-ounce loaf of butter top. Okay. Okay, breaking that up, putting it in. Just break it up, put it in your food processor. Whoops. I'm not in there good. There we go. Whoa. Okay. And while I'm doing this, I got my cocktail, right? Okay. Now, let me tell you something. I could freeze this stuffing until Thanksgiving. This is the end of August, September, October, November. 2 months in the freezer is no big deal for this stuffing. So I'm making this stuffing so I could use it for Thanksgiving. Also, okay, I can doctor it up with some other things. I could add other things to it then. But this is what I'm making now. Alright? So now, I'm going to take just a half a loaf of this. What I want is I want 2 pounds of breadcrumbs. Okay, so that was 20 ounces. I need another 16 ounces. This is another 20-ounce loaf. I'm only going to use about half of it. I'm going to take half of this out. Okay, I'm breaking it up. I'll put it in here. Processing it down. Okay, now you saw that, right? Now here, next. I got 3 large stalks of celery. If you don't have 3 large stalks, use 5 stalks of regular celery. And I have 3 onions. Okay, 3 medium-sized onions. Okay, we're going to put them in the food processor now. See, the food processor was dry with the breadcrumb. Now I'm putting the wet stuff in it that's going to stick. So I wouldn't want to do this first, because then the bread would all stick to the processor. Okay? This is going to take a couple of processes, like two. And why do we do this, what we're doing? I'm grinding it down. I'm going to squeeze it out, get all of that bitterness out of it. We're going to saute it, make it translucent. We're going to add it to this. We're going to mix it up. It's going to be dynamite, okay? Okay, see that? Okay, I'm taking this out here, and I got a strainer in the sink. See the strainer? Okay. We're going to put that in the sink. We're going to start to strain it. I'm putting this back. We're going back here. Okay? You're watching this step by step. We're doing this, and we're doing it, and we're going to make this whole meal in an hour before it goes in the oven. All the prep and everything. See that? Okay. That's the way I want it, right? Okay, so now I'm done with the food processor. Taking all of that out of here. Okay, I'm going to wash that in a minute. Got it in the strainer. See that? Now, I'm going to squeeze. Look at all that juice. Oh, look at that. You want to get all of that out, because that's bitter shit. You don't want that. That's so bitter. So you want to squeeze and push all of that out of your onions. Okay? Wow, now I'm really doing a good job, because I'm getting it all out and it's feeling nice and dry. Okay? Now that's as pretty good as I'm going to get it. Or as that it needs to be. Alright? I'm pulling my pan over here. Back on the fire. Turning it on. Taking my olive oil. putting about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Okay? It's still warm and hot from the other one. I'm going to dump that in. Okay? When that starts to crackle, we're going to start sauteing it. I'll be right back. Okay, it's starting to sizzle. Can you hear it? Alright, and we added all of our seasoning before, okay? So we don't want to add any more seasoning yet. Okay? And what I want to do is I just want to saute this up and make it translucent. See how nice and dry it is? We don't want it oily. And it's also picking up all of the flavor from the pan from the sausage. Okay? So it's getting all of that flavor, that carryover cooking flavor. Okay? So we want to make this soft. We don't want it to be hard. We want to make it soft. Because when I'm done putting this stuffing together, it's going to be cooked already. You could just take it, heat it up, and eat it because it's all cooked. Okay? So we're going to keep sauteing this. Okay? We just want to make it nice and translucent. You know something? It's a little dry. I might want to just add a tiny little swirl of oil to it. Just so it doesn't brown. We don't want it to brown. We want it just to be soft. Okay, and I'm going to tell you something, man. You watch this video and you put this together, you're okay. You're okay in my book. Okay? Now I'm going to spread this out, and I'm going to let this saute a bit. Okay? Flatten it out. Now, we're doing well because we didn't want that liquid. The liquid would make it bitter. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. This class is like being in, excuse me, this show is like being in a cooking class. Okay? It doesn't get any better than this. I don't care what anybody says. Look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, that's done. It's going over here. Okay, I'm turning the fire off, leaving it on the fire. But now what I'm going to do is I'm taking my hands and I'm getting in there and I'm going to incorporate all of the sausage and the turkey in with the breadcrumb first. So I don't have to do 3 things at once. I get this done and then I just have to incorporate that into it. Okay? I'm mixing this up nicely. See this? And you know something? It's absolutely, wow. Flavorful. Wow, that's good. Okay, and it's not even halfway done yet. Got all of the sausage and the turkey. Now here it comes. Beautiful. Not wet, with oil. That's in the sink. Rinsing my hands. Here I am. I'm back. Okay. Now, that's hot, so I'm going to mix it with my spoon. I'm going to mix it in with the spoon. Okay. Now I got a nice thing of stuffing going here. Now if you wanted to make this stuffing a different way, you could put apples right in it. And raisins, you could put oysters in this. You could do so many different things with this stuffing right here, right now. Okay? But right now, oh, look at that piece of the bag. I'm gonna get that out of there. That would be disastrous. Okay, so I got that mixed up nicely, right? Get that out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm getting my homemade mayo. And we're going to dump that in. My mayo's nice. I love homemade mayonnaise. Okay, it has no preservatives like all the other mayonnaises have and stuff. But if I'm going to use another mayonnaise, I'm going to use Duke's or Hellmann's. Okay? Sometimes I make a mayonnaise and I need a little more. I go to the fridge. It's okay. Okay, so see this? I'm adding this in it now, mixing this up. This is one beautiful stuffing right here. Now at this point, you can taste it to see if it needs anything else. You know, but we put a lot of seasoning in this. The only thing it just may need is a little salt and white pepper. And I'm going to taste it right now. Wow. I don't think it needs anything. So we're going to continue. Okay. Now I want to make sure that this is moist. So what I'm going to do is I always have a little chicken stock nearby. So I'm just going to add about 3 ounces of chicken stock to this. Okay, because there's nothing worse than dry freaking stuffing. Okay? Yeah. Oh, I feel it. I can. Oh, yeah. That's it right there. I don't have to add anything else to this stuffing. The stuffing is done for a sausage stuffing. But remember, I added the turkey in it just to cut down on some fat and calories. Look at this. This stuffing is ready to go. This is a Thanksgiving stuffing if you wanted to use it for one, or anything you wanted to make it with, okay? Wow. That's really good. That is really, really good. If it needed something, I tell you. Okay, so now I'm going to move on. We're going to butterfly that loin. I'll be back in a minute. Hey, I'm back. Okay, and this, I put the stuffing in another container. Okay, and I got to tell you something. Man, that stuffing is dynamite. Probably some of the best you ever had. You got to make that, you're a hit. It's a hit. Okay? Okay, so but now, we're going to butterfly or open up this loin. Alright? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to cut it here, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep opening it up and opening it up and opening it up. Alright? Geez, I gotta try to get this camera so you can see it better. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Let's see. Because I'm lefty, you know what I mean? There we go. Okay. Let's see if that works. There you go. So, I want to leave the fat on because I want that to be crispy and crackly. And
Come on, doggy, come here.
It looks like I'm going to go this way on it. And I'm going to take about a ½ inch to an inch, and I'm going to score it down here, and I'm going to keep cutting it. I'm going to cut it through. Okay? See what I'm doing? Okay. And I'm going to take it from here, and I'm going to open it up again. Okay, now, see this? I have it a little thick here. So I'm going to come and I'm going to open it up here. Okay. You just got to keep butterflying it open. Okay. So I got that, right? You see it? Let me just get in here. I forgot something. Okay, I need my Okay, you there? You still there? Okay. So now I got my little pounder. And I'm going to pound it up just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, just to flatten it out. Okay? Then I'm going to take the other side. If you don't have a pounder, it's okay. You don't have to do this. But this is making it a little bit longer for me. Okay, look at that. Look how long that is. Okay, beautiful, right? I'm going to clean my hands. I'll be right back.